and welcome to Mollie's Motif. This is Emily, and today I'm going to show you the card that I've put together for the challenge that is starting over at Bitten by the Bug 2. The theme for this challenge is all about bees. We just want you to use one of those cute bees that are found on so many different cartridges on your cards, your projects, or your layouts. And so I'll go ahead and just get started. I went ahead and pulled, there's a cute bee on the Just Because cartridge, Just Because Cards cartridge, and I don't use this cartridge for the cards. That's like the main feature for this cartridge, but I've not played around with that. I got this cartridge basically because of the awesome images. There are so many different general images on this cartridge. I'll just kind of go through. So here's the bee that I'm going to be using for my card. But they've got a watermelon, they have a duck, they've got flowers and honey pots, an owl, they've got a sun, they've got cake, they have an apple, a pie, just some really great general images. There's a cute little Scottish dog, and then they also have fun sayings, words or phrases that go along with the cuts, like we're a pair. This one says doggone good, just moved, there's a nice house, a little bird told me, pretty peas, play on words there. So just some really great general images and phrases. And then also there's a fun feature on this cartridge. It's the stencil feature, and that it has the same phrase, but it's, you know, they cut it out in a stencil form. And I have played around with that, and you do need to make sure that your images are pretty big, just to make sure that the cuts, because the cuts are a little bit intricate, so you want to make sure your image is a little bit bigger for that. I haven't played around this. I think this would be great for the markers or the pens that you can put in your Cricut. I think that would be an awesome, I haven't played around with that either, but I think that would be a fun thing to do. So anyway, here is on page 56 my little bee, and the sizing on this cartridge is also a little different. For instance, my go-to size is 3 inches, so I just figured I would start at 3 inches to see how big my image would be, but it was really teeny because that 3 inches was how big the card you were going to have made. And so you need to bump up your image a little bit higher than what you normally would. And I did play around with the real dial size, and that does work, but the layering doesn't necessarily match up with the real dial size. So you just have to kind of play around a little bit with this cartridge. But the bee that I cut him at 6.5 inches, and you can see that this is not 6.5 inches. It's actually 3 inches from the wingspan, from side to side. So this is how the bee turned out. So I just cut the layer 1 and I cut layer 1 twice. I cut it out of some, I'll just show you the back, some teal cardstock. And then I cut it again out of some vellum, so I could make kind of, you know, the wing effect. So I don't know if that worked out so well, but I kind of liked how that came together. So I cut that layer 1 twice, and then I cut the shift layer 1 out of the yellow, and then your layer 2 out of it's really dark brown. It's not necessarily black, it's just really, really dark brown. And so that is how my bee was pretty easy to put together. So, but like I said, you just need to play around with the sizes a little bit because it can be a little tricky. So just a heads up on that. So that is my bee. And then for my paper, I bought this paper pack at Hobby Lobby. It's Doodle Doo, and who is this by? I don't even know. Prima Marketing, that's who it's by. But I love this paper pack. I think it's so fun and cute, and there's some great colors. I love this paper. I think it's just, I guess whimsical, is that the name, the adjective? I don't know. But I just love it. I think it's just super fun with the flowers and the colors and the different patterns. So that is where my paper is coming from. My base card, it's just a standard A2, and it's a thicker cardstock. It's thicker than what I normally work with. I'm not sure where I got this. I think it was probably just in just a grab bag of cardstock I picked up at my local craft store. And it's not teal. I don't know what color it is, but it's a blue-green color. So that's my base, and then here is my mat, and it's really cute. It's just these letters. It's just the alphabet over and over, and just in a really fun font, and just, I really kind of liked that background paper for the card and the sentiment that I'm going to be using. So there is that base mat, and then here's another strip from that paper pack, and it's just this black, and if you can see, it's got these little squirrels and or swirlies, and just really fun. I like it. It kind of reminded me of like the noise a bee would make, you know, like bzzz. I don't know. I'm weird, maybe. I don't know, but I liked it. I thought it just was kind of fun to go along with this card. And then my next mat, I cut a scallop circle from Mini Monograms, and that is found on page 129 of Mini Monograms. It's got an awesome scallop circle. This is a really fun cartridge too. Lots of different ways to cut out your letters on that cartridge, but I use it mainly for the scallop circle, which is kind of sad. But so that is my next mat, and I cut that at 4.5 inches, and then I cut a circle from George at 3.5 inches, and that's just going to go straight down on the scallop mat. So that is basically my layout, my little sketch for my card. And then my bee, I'm going to have him kind of on an angle right here. I don't think I'm going to do it this way. I think I'm going to do it this way. I don't know. I'll figure that out. But it's going to be down at the bottom. And then my sentiment is coming from a new stamp set that was just released over at Craftin Desert Divas. It's the Little Bit Buggie stamp set. Super fun. Put it in upside down. But this is part of the set. There's, if you can read, let me get a piece of paper to put behind her, if that will help. But some of the sentiments on the set, like the flower and bee, great friends are we, bugs and kisses, time to celebrate, snail mail, and just be 'cause. And then there's a really cute stamp, an image that you can stamp and color if you know, do the Copics and that sort of thing. But I'm going to be using the Just Because sentiment, and here it is, and I just stamped it on some more of that pattern paper. It's a real faint graph paper on there, but I'm going to tuck it down behind my scallop. So maybe my scallop's going to be down a little bit, but it's going to be on an angle. I'm just going to tuck it down in there. And then my bee's going to be down here, something like this. And I'll pop my bee up on some foam tape. And I'm also going to put some enamel dots, just from Recollections, just from Michael's. I'll probably use some of these fun pink enamel dots, maybe some of the small ones. But I'll figure that out, and I'm going to put those up in the corner. So this is what my card is looking like. This is how it's coming together. So I'll get it figured out, finalized. I'll work on the inside, and I'll come back and show you how it turned out. Okay, so I got the card put together, and everything just went like I had wanted it to. So all of my bats are tacked straight down with my ATG, just flat onto the card. And there is my little sentiment tucked under the scallop. And then my bee is popped up on one thickness of foam tape. So, and then the wings are just kind of left open like this, just to kind of give it a little bit of a, you know, flying effect. So I don't know if I accomplished that, but that was my goal. And then here's just some random enamel dots that I just put down up in the corner. So it came together very nicely. And then I did forget to mention that I use Memento Tuxedo Black ink for my sentiment, and that ink works perfect with these stamps from Craftin Desert Divas. So I've never had a problem with that ink. The inside of the card, I just took some more of that graph paper that I used for the sentiment and just made a mat on the inside that you can write a little message. You can stamp. I even thought about stamping that sentiment from the stamp set, like the flower and bee, great friends are we. That would work perfect for this card. And so I've thought about stamping that. But when I decide who this is going to, then I'll figure that out. But I just wanted to leave it blank for now. And then I just took another strip from that paper that was left over from the front and just put it down at the bottom just to add something on the inside. So super easy, super simple to put together. And this is the card that I've come up with for the challenge that is starting over at Bitten by the Bug 2. It's a bee theme, so just pull out your Create a Critter or Walk in My Garden. There are so many cartridges with the cute little bees on them. and just put those to good use, and we want to see what you come up with. So I appreciate you taking the time to watch my video. I'd appreciate any comments or feedback that you'd have for me. You can always check out my blog. It's molliemugsblog.blogspot.com, and we will catch you next time.